Hello architects, and welcome to today's video. Today I thought we'd draw a picture of Hank from Finding Dory, and I thought we'd do him in the style of Pointillism or dot art, because the one I did of Dory previously seemed to be really popular. So if you're ready, let's go. So before I go into too much on this picture, I just wanted to say that I have got another video on my channel which is called Dotty Dory, and in that video I just do a simple introduction to Pointillism, and so if you haven't seen that, then go check it out. I will put a link to the video on the screen about now. And so just onto this picture then, I started off with a pencil outline of Hank so that we could concentrate on the dot art, and I've decided on this video to use felt tip markers, but you can use whatever medium you like. The idea with dot art then, or Pointillism, is that your eyes do the mixing. So all these little dots come together when you're looking at the picture from a distance and kind of mix it up so that you can see the whole picture, not just the individual dots. So I chose a range of different colours for this picture, and they ranged from sort of light yellows, oranges and reds for Hank himself, and then for the background some different blues, greens and purples. That said, if you don't have a lot of different colours in the medium you're using, then no problem. The artist Surat, who started off this technique, he only used 3 primary colours, so that's red, blue and yellow, and kind of putting them together on his canvas created all the different colours. So that's a bit like some of the inkjet printers that we use today. They only use 4 colours, so that's cyan or blue, magenta or red, yellow and black. And you might see those when you refill the cartridges if you've got that sort of printer, and they obviously mix those together in the machine to create all the different colours that complete our printouts. So basically then on this drawing I would recommend that you start off not by doing the dots too close together, because you can always go in and put some more colours in or do more dots closer together as you go along with the picture. Once they're on there, so you can't take them off, but you can add them in. So don't be too afraid to leave gaps or to leave white areas. So say like I've done for Hank's eyes, I've just left that area totally white so it shows up the highlights quite nicely against the background colour. And the more spaced out your dots are, the lighter the colour and the effect. The closer they are, you get a darker or shaded effect. And the felt tips I'm using are very fine actually, this one in particular. And the smaller the dots that you make on the page, the clearer the picture is and the sharper the lines. So this is a bit like the resolution on a computer or TV screen. And even with cameras, if you've got more pixels, then you get a clearer image. So that's more dots gives a clearer image. So the only downside with using smaller dots is of course that it takes a lot longer to finish. But it's kind of a test of your patience, and if you keep going with it you'll realise that at the end, when it's all done, it's worth the time you've put in. So as you can see where I am on the drawing now, I'm just going in with some darker colour to create a little bit of shading and give the picture a bit more depth, and doing the dots, as I said, in layers. So I keep going in with all different colours just to build that picture up and give it make it a bit more clearer. And I think that's one of the things that, although time consuming, I do like about dot art, because it's quite relaxing and it doesn't take too much thought, but you can build up some really nice layering effects and it looks good both close up and from a distance. So I think if you wanted to do a simpler picture, if this is your first time looking at dot art, then do check out my Dory video, because that is easier to do. But next week I think I might try doing something with slightly larger dots and maybe using paint instead. So maybe I'll use like a Q-tip or a cotton bud and dip that in the paint and see which comes out best. I think one thing you have to be a little bit careful about if you're doing dot art is if you overdo it too much and get the dots too close together. Obviously it's okay in some areas where the shading is darker, or the colour would be darker, but if you go on too long it can kind of merge into one, and if that's the effect that you're going for, then no problem. But all I'm saying is, if you want the dot art effect, this might be lost a little bit if you go too far with it. So just another point to make is that I drew this outline in pencil first. It might be a bit complicated to try and copy this from my drawing, as I didn't want to spend too much time going through how I drew Hank, but you can always use a colouring in page if you've got some colouring in pages at home that are already done for you, and maybe even compare it to pictures you coloured in solid colour and see which you prefer. So now going in to do the sea behind Hank, and I've started off with a lighter colour blue to begin with, and I haven't done the dots too close together to start with, and certainly over this side that I'm doing now I've deliberately done them a little bit further apart, because this area I'm going to go in with some darker colours in a bit. So So as I said, just going in with a slightly different colour blue, and that just helps to build up a little bit more depth to the picture, make it look a bit more interesting, and also give it a bit more of a multicolour sort of darker area around the side. And also underneath where he's sitting, I'm going to make sure that area is darker as well, so that will give the impression that there's a bit of shadow underneath his body, which makes it a bit more realistic. And now coming in with a third colour, which is a darker blue again. Now I haven't gone right up to the edge of my paper in this drawing. Obviously you can do if you've got lots of time and you want to fill it in completely. But just for the sake of this video, I've just done a sort of an outline shape where it ends. So now coming in with a turquoisey greeny colour, as I'm going to do some seaweed over this side. And also mixing that up with the blues as well. Now notice I'm adding some dots in lines here in different colour purples, and that's just to try and give the impression of some sea anemones around this side. And those dots at the bottom of the sea anemone are really quite close together, and that just gives the illusion of shading. So hopefully you've enjoyed this video today and you'll be keen to give it a go yourself. And I've just at the end there, before finishing off, just gone in and done a little bit of grey on his pupils just to give that shaded effect. And we're pretty much done. Well, that's all for today, Architects. I hope you enjoyed drawing Hank from Finding Dory in the dot art style. If you've got any ideas of anything that you might want me to draw next week or in future videos, then please don't forget to leave them in the comments box. And if you've liked today's video, please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to my channel. And I'll see you next week for more dotty fun. Bye!